Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to my journey series. So as you can probably tell, this episode is being released a wee bit quicker than usual compared with the last episode. The reason for that is, obviously last episode I was discussing my approach to this series. Am I doing it incorrectly, and could I be doing it differently? And I think what I have decided is I'm going to go for option 4 that I discussed. Option 4, for those that don't know, was to release the series a wee bit quicker and update a wee bit quicker. So that's what we're going for here. At the very least, we can experiment with it. We can see if it's if I'm still enjoying it. We can see if the world is still developing at a reasonable rate, and if we feel that if we feel that the series is suffering as a result, then I could just revert back to how I was doing it prior. But we will be updating. We have been, as I said, in Alpha 1.1 for how long? Like 20 episodes? We will be updating soon. Not immediately, but soon. And as a result of that, we can then, we'll obviously get to Alpha 1.2, we'll get the new biomes and things like that. And then hopefully it won't be too long before we're into beta. But as I said, I don't want to rush things. Currently, I'm still working on the circle settlement here. As you can see, I had a slight creeper issue last episode. Well, not last episode, sorry, off camera. I was working off camera here. And yeah, the road kind of got blown to smithereens. So I'm just trying to figure out how best to sort this out. But yeah, it's kind of annoying because the house, or this house anyway, has intersected with the road. So we're going to have to just shape the road around it. And yeah, I don't have too many plans for today's episode. Apart from completing the houses here, we could try and add a wee bit of detail. I also want to possibly add cobblestone rims around the top, see how that looks. I'm not sure if that'll look good or not, but we'll maybe give it a try. Oh yeah, I was going to add some torches here, just because I thought that might look pretty cool. Also, creepers are spawning here, so we might add some lava lighting just in the middle there, and we'll see how that looks. But yeah, I guess I'll work on the houses off camera, simply because, yeah, there's not too many to go, but it's going to take a bit of work. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. Oh yeah, one of the strange things is this house doesn't intersect with the house around here. As yet, this house does intersect with the house around here. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe, well, it must be because there's less of a distance. Yeah, no, I can see why that would be the case. It's very hard for me to get my head around. It's because that's on a corner. This has got a circle in between it. So yeah. It's very strange to me. It confused me a lot, but I kind of get it. So I've got all the houses completed, or all the buildings, or things like that, whatever they're called. I'm just adding lava here as another means for lighting. I think that'll do for lighting in these circles, just because it was the very centre that was darkest, and that should mean that no mobs will spawn. So yeah, this is, well, I guess most of this is basically finished. We might work on it a bit more in future with regards to putting stuff inside of the buildings. But as far as just the shape of it goes, the doors, the windows, etc., etc., I reckon it should be fine. And once we get the lava lighting in place, I think that should be everything. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks. I actually kind of wanted to put a moat or something in the very centre. Or not the very centre, but the entrance area. The entrance circle is obviously a wee bit bigger than all the other circles, and I kind of wanted to put a moat around it. However, I'm not quite sure how we'll do that. I'm not quite sure if it'll look any good, but we shall see. I'm using a different recording software for this. You can tell, well, you might be able to tell because you can see my mouse. Whenever I used shadow play, my mouse did not show up, which was it wasn't the worst thing ever for this game, but it was a wee bit annoying. Oh yeah, this is I don't know what this is. This could be a bit of a shop or something. A corner shop. because the reason I couldn't make a full house here is because there's a bank, an embankment on the other side, and it goes down to the water. I just decided to get rid of the house I'd already dug in there, and I just made it into a smaller build. And I've got the torches here too, so plenty of lighting down here. I kind of like it. It's something a wee bit unique. I was wanting to put the cobble around the outside of the circles. I'll go and try that now. We'll see how it looks. But yeah, no, I've got so many licenses from my time doing YouTube that I'm able to obviously chop and change recording softwares as and when I need to. And so the one I'm using, you can see my mouse cursor. There's a few issues, such as, well, this was the recording software that I was using when my TDC footage went crazy, to say the least. So, you know, there's no guarantee of success with this, but we'll give it a go. We'll see how it works, and I might use it in future. It's just turning night. Hopefully we can get this outer circle finished. I don't know why I thought cobble would look cool, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how it looks once we're done. And the idea here is just to add a bit more of a build feel to it, because it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't really like how it's just, you know, a couple circles in the grass. I kind of want to add a bit more structure in the surrounding area. I was kind of hoping to turn all the grass into cobble, but I'm not sure that would look good, if you know what I mean. So let's have a look. How does that look? Yeah, I like that. I think we should do that for all the circles. I'll probably work on that then, off camera. Oh, I just realised that we should maybe add some grass in here. I should say the grass is spread here, so now we've got grass on both sides with the flowers, which is pretty neat. Okay, so I just recorded a clip without audio. Fantastic. I'll catch up on that in a moment. But right now, I have finished the outline of cobble with all the circles. I do like it a bit more. I'm wondering if we can add some greenery, maybe some trees or whatnot around the circles. That might be something to consider. But as far as the actual structure goes, I'm happy with how things are. I'm happy with the lighting, and each individual building or compartment, or whatever you want to call them, house, shop, town hall. I mean, I know that's kind of, maybe they're a bit underwhelming when I refer to them as such, but you know, they're done. That's the point I'm trying to make. So in a future episode we can maybe add some paintings to them, or some items, some workbenches, I don't know, just to brighten it up a bit. I don't have a really good eye for furniture in Minecraft. I mean, I can do park benches, but that's about it. So, you know what I mean, I'm going to struggle a wee bit with trying to add stuff to it. But the point is, we can, and we will, probably add to the build over time. So now to catch up on the clip that I lost. When I say I lost it, the audio didn't record because I was messing about with it. Basically, I created another easy loader for the Eats road here. I've had issues with the boats here glitching out, or going out of alignment, or breaking upon entering, so yeah, I decided to make a new easy loader. The reason being is because the old one was down there, but now as you can see it's over there. So the old one we had to access via this ladder below the water, which was, yeah, a tad inconvenient. However, the new one is just down here, so we can just simply come round, drop the boat there, and I've got rid of the old easy loader. And as you can see, we've got some water there. The water streams are correctly aligned, so that should work out just fine. And of course we can go down there for maintenance if need be, but we shouldn't be required to go down there that often. I wouldn't say this is any more convenient compared with the original easy loader. However, it's maybe just a tad easier to get to, in the sense that you don't have to go down a ladder, under the water, sort of thing. So I'm happy with it. So I've been working a bit in the mine off camera, not too much. But I've kind of, well, I'm having a think about how I want this build to take shape. Obviously a lot of the work has been done via the digging of tunnels, However, this is a wee bit more natural. Obviously, this has been manipulated as well. I don't think you'd get a cave quite this big, or a room quite this big, in vanilla generation. Certainly not in this version, and certainly not without mods. But I'm going to probably just leave it as it is for the most part. I'm not quite sure what to add necessarily. What I have been doing is I've been digging out certain areas. I've been adding a few half slabs to kind of create a bit of a pathway here. We've got a bit of a back door over here as well, which I'll just show you. I mean, I showed this, I think, last episode or the episode before, or at some point. I already showed that there was a bit of a gateway to the outside world. But it's kind of more official now. This kind of goes down to a waterfall. That's about it. There's not much down there. Maybe we could turn that into like a waterhole or something. But we might just try and let this mine area become as natural as possible. Now, unfortunately, it's going to rely a lot on what sort of cave systems we get. And most of the cave systems in this version, as you know, aren't that well developed. I know in the past, Spodders has referred to the chunk borders where sometimes caves are just completely cut off because I'm not sure if this would necessarily count, but it's basically a massive flat wall over cave systems, over caverns, where, you know, the cave should have continued but it didn't because it intersected another chunk. So I know Spods has made reference to that. I've seen it quite a bit. Things like that are going to make it difficult to really develop this using the natural terrain, but that is a challenge. I'm just trying to figure out now where we go from here, because we've got potential exit there, maybe something up there. Should we maybe build a door here? Also, I kind of want to go up there because there is a bit of a doorway up there that I want to take advantage of. I did bring some half slabs with me. Oh, actually, there might be some stone in the storage room. Alright, so we might as well just fill this in and then try as best as we can to get a staircase going up here. A staircase out of half slabs, of course. So yeah, I'm not quite sure the shape of this build. The good thing about this build, actually, and it's something that I've come to appreciate the more I've worked on it, is that, you know, I can work on it regardless of what time of day it is. I know that's part of the reason why Etho was working on his man cave, his underground base. It's because he never liked working outside at night time. I don't think it's so bad in modern versions, to be honest. Like, I don't have a problem working at night in 1.13 or, you know, any of those sorts of versions. But this version, it's particularly difficult. It's difficult sometimes to stay alive. If you die, obviously, you need to walk back to where you were working. So, you know, from that point of view, it makes a lot of sense to have an extensive project underground. But the problem is, or the issue is, how do we really liven it up? I don't want it to be an underground base area. I want it to be a wee bit more harsh, a wee bit more, you know, predominantly stone-based build. That doesn't really leave that much room for, you know, extra decoration. But we shall see. We'll see what comes of it. As for this episode, it's been a wee bit more chill. I've done a lot of I have done a lot of camera, but at the same time there has been a wee bit on camera, such as the stuff now. And this is the kind of direction I hope to take this series in. You know, I've been able to record this over one day, whereas in the past episodes have taken, well, some episodes have taken like a week to record. So it really depends on what I am wanting to do, how I'm wanting to progress with what I'm doing. And I think moving up to 1.2, Alpha 1.2 will be huge, because not only will we get new biomes, but we'll get the Nether, and that will, well, make travelling a lot easier for starters, but it will hopefully also inspire one or two more ideas for builds and what else we can do. Who knows, there might be a Nether-based build coming up, I don't know. So I'm just thinking off the top of my head and all that. Not sure about this, actually. I'm not sure about this, these stairs. I've been changing out most of the dirt with stone because I don't really like the pockets of dirt and the pockets of gravel that, you know, are showing. Not sure if that's good or bad, if I should be leaving them as they are, but I quite like the look of the cavern when it's just purely stone. Anyway, as I was saying, the episodes should be, well, hopefully not any less interesting, and hopefully not any less productive, but hopefully they will be more manageable for myself. That's the aim anyway. We shall see. And I'll certainly be having a think of, well, I do have some ideas, as I said, for the 1.2 update. The question will be, can we pull it off? Can we manage it well? We shall see. I think we're going to have a door here. I think that's what we'll do. Although I'm not quite sure about this. The stairs coming down this way. We might have to... we could have a zigzag of stairs, maybe. That might look a little bit better, because we've got a bit of an area down here that I don't quite know what to do with. Yeah, let's just do that. Do that. Yeah. So there we have it. An entrance that will hopefully lead to the next area. We've also got the winding stair that I constructed on camera, or at least I should have constructed it on camera. This takes us on a path that goes all the way up here to these sections of cave that we can do something with later, maybe. I mean, in some ways it kind of seems like an underwhelming project, in the sense that, okay, I'm just, you know, quote-unquote beautifying a cave, but I feel like we could get something out of this. I'm sure of it. I don't know. Anyway, there's the entrance, as I said. 5 wide door that will take us where? Who knows? We've also got a winding stair up here that takes us to yet another winding stair. And this takes us to the very... Oh, look, there's some gravel. Yeah, this was a huge gravel patch that I ended up getting rid of. And what was left, or the space that was left, I constructed into a staircase that brought us all the way up here to this shelf. So there are things we can accomplish. There is potential for this area to be something epic. Again, though, maybe my idea of having a purely stone-based build isn't a good idea. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't want to make it all bright with trees and everything. I do have one blade of grass left, or one block of grass, I should say, that we can use if need be, but I don't foresee myself going down that way, because it's not, as I said, it's not a base I'm wanting to build here. It's not I'm not trying to beautify an underground area. I'm just trying to create what looks like some sort of an underground mine, an underground cavern, tunnel systems, that sort of thing. But we'll see. We'll see if any more comes of it, and we'll see if I get any more ideas. But thank you very much for watching this episode. I do appreciate your viewing. I will see you later.